Now come along, squire, he's not going to clean himself.
Very well, my lord.
He's been left to rot and ruin for I don't know how long, thanks to your running away.
This isn't exactly the most pleasant tasks.
Well, you've got your eye protection, so we don't have to talk about that situation ever again.
Yeah. That was an unfortunate
That we said
incident.
we wouldn't talk about it.
Very well.
But anyways, over here, I'm presently attempting to develop some degree of bizarre kaleidoscopic enchanting, which I think I can manage quite happily. It's certainly making its way.
Certainly looks interesting.
It's not the fastest of situations, but it works. Eventually. But this should allow us to make various enchantments that combine together to create additional effects, thereby making our weapons even stronger.
Hey.
I don't think it's very good for armor though, fortunately. Nonetheless, I have managed to reconstruct one of my old pieces, the Spectre helmet. It's looking quite nice, I feel.
Yes, it does look quite good on you, sir.
Yes, once I have the full set, I'm sure I'll be looking quite back up to my original regality. But exactly what have you been up to? You've been gone for weeks. That blood moon was last month, I think. It's hard to keep track of a calendar.
Well, let me think. I have been exploring the art of thaumaturgy further. I have been continuing
Very
with my
good.
studies.
Very good.
I have crafted a new bow.
Is that made out of dog treats?
No, my lord, it's made out of bone.
It looks kind of nummy. You were saying?
Anyway, yeah, I also have been learning the art of lycanthropy.
What? Squire?
Yes, my lord?
You do recall that that particular cult is heretical in Baidman, yes?
Yes, my lord.
And you do recall how many of their cultists we have put to the sword, yes?
Rough estimation, yes, my lord.
Is that a pun?
No, my lord?
So would you like to explain to me exactly why you thought to investigate this?
Convenient.
Convenient.
For the purposes of travel.
Our horse is not good enough for you.
They are good enough to an extent, my lord.
I see. Right, well, I suppose I have little else to do right now. Clientele is forthcoming. I imagine they'll hear of our wits and abilities soon enough, so why don't you investigate a little further and let me know exactly what is going on with this, because this is a cursed affliction, and if there happens to be something that they know to get rid of it, maybe we can, I don't know, do something about that.
Well, I did manage to find a altar.
An altar.
Yes, my lord.
Okay, I'll bite. Where? Where is it?
It's a fair distance northeast of here.
Northeast. Very well. Come along, Rainbow. Lead the way, Squire.
Are you quite sure you'll be able to keep up, my lord?
You're a wolf. Exactly how fast could you possibly be moving?
Very well, my lord. I shall lead the way.
Well, I must say this horse runs a lot faster now that he's had his cleaning.
Just as well. I'm afraid it is going to be quite a distance.
Well, as I appear to be outrunning you, I'm imagining that your initial concerns will be of little issue.
Apparently so.
Ah, then again.
Yes, horses are not the greatest of swimmers, are they?
No, they are not. This may take a moment. So exactly how did you come across this altar? And perhaps this is a convenient piece of information. Was anybody using it at the exact time you found it?
There was a stranger.
A stranger.
I'm not sure what his purpose was there, but
Are there many purposes involving altars of a
he seemed to have
heretical,
some
deceitful sort?
He seemed to have some degree of ownership of the altar. At the very least, he permitted me to use it to commune with the wolf god.
I see. I must do something about the dead around here. Or perhaps your wolf god is responsible in some part for this.
I do not think they have any dealings with the undead, my lord.
More Neryl's sort, I should imagine. Where's a good temple to Palor when you need one?
I have not managed to find one yet, my lord.
Well, we're a long way from home, I suppose. More water.
Fortunately so.
Well, at least this one is fairly shallow. Have you seen any potential clients around at all?
Not as of yet.
Nobles, merchants, bandit groups we might simply capture?
Only in passing.
There's a great many fallen castles around here. Which I presume means at least someone might have a bit of old money.
I have met with a scant few travellers, but only in passing, and I know not from where they originate.
Well, we don't need to know where they originate as long as they have someone that they want dead. Or something they want guarded. Honestly, it's a bit hard to pass up meals at this point.
Fair enough.
Is it much farther?
Not much farther now, I don't believe.
Ooh, this trail is becoming somewhat impassable.
Fortunately. Are you quite alright, my lord?
I'm fine. And so is Rainbow.
Rainbow,
Thank
my
you.
lord?
He can dash. It seemed appropriate and fitting.
See.
Well, it's better than the name you gave him. Lancelot isn't exactly the most becoming of names.
Seemed fitting to me, but I suppose if you believe otherwise.
It would work better if he were a breeder. Portal to hell, middle of nowhere. Okay, I'm just going to completely bypass looking at that. A small hut? Is this the place we're looking for?
No, it's just a little ways longer. Ah! Apologies, I may have just hit your horse.
Well, you can treat him to a meal later.
Beg pardon, sir?
You can treat him to an apple later.
Very well.
There's a structure to our east. Is that what we're looking for?
Yes, I believe so.
Very well, descend the hill. This is not a beacon. Interesting. Mana glass. Elf glass, that's interesting. Well, evidently we might have some degree of customers for our guarding options. And you say you know who lives here?
Yes. But I've only met him on a scant few occasions.
I see.
Here often.
Hmm.
I believe this is the way in. Memory serves. The altar, if memory is correct, should be just over here.
Are you going to get out of that ridiculous wolf skin at any point in this travel?
I was going to wait until we arrived here.
Very well. Wolf altar. Hmm. Well, I have him some bones. Maybe he'll be a bit cooperative. No, apparently he's just giving in demands already. Well, fortunately, my recent bouts with the processor have led me to be somewhat reasonably fruitful. I don't want the beast within to be freed, save of my flesh. First he and now he wants dinner. He's a greedy sort, it seems, isn't he?
Somewhat, Lord.
Well, I have some mutton, but something tells me it's not the one he's looking for. Do you have any mutton on you? Have you been eating the livestock?
Afraid not, my lord. I've been surviving mostly on berries recently.
Well, have a couple bones. Here. So I suppose the next question is, where can we find some source of mutton? This stranger of yours, do they have any livestock? That they might not miss?
They do have livestock, but I believe they would miss it quite dearly.
Well, I don't see any sheep amongst it. Well, I do see some sheep amongst it. Actually, come to think of it, where are the pigs? Odd that they have 2 out of 3 of the primary food groups. Right. Well, let's wait until day, and then perhaps we can venture out in the near vicinity and find some mutton.
Very well.
Dawn approaches, squire.
Indeed it does.
Now, do you know of any locations where we might find some sheep?
There seem to be... I think I remember there was some sheep a little bit south of here.
Very well. This location is an utter maze. A carnival of horrors, even. Ah, yes. Now, the creature in that altar said for mutton, did he not?
Yes, my lord. That is correct.
I don't believe he provided a book of butchering. Was there some specific methodology that he might have been meaning?
I believe you just kill it, my lord.
Very well. Well, it got me mutton, but from a different catalogue of items. So, something tells me that's not what he's looking for. Chance would be a fine thing, but no.
Ideally, you want the cut of meat that would be relevant to this circumstance.
You mean the mutton appropriate to the witchery mod?
Yes.
Right. Ah, we're going to need more sheep.
That we are.
Well, I suppose now is as good a time as any to shirk my bearings and try out this foul magic of yours. It's very bright, and I'm quite short. This is new to me.
Permission to speak freely, my lord.
Permission granted.
You look adorable. Ow.
Woof. Let's find some sheep before this form grows uncannily comfortable.
Go on, my lord.
It shouldn't be too difficult to find them. What concerns me is that we have to find 30 of them, and all that I can see in range of me is chickens. I fear someone may have had to undertake this quest before us.
Quite possibly, my lord.
We may have to slightly screw over your friend.
Feel
Only
that would
slightly.
be impolite, my lord.
Well, we're practicing heretical sciences here, so impolite is sort of the status quo.
Not even think they own 30 sheep.
I can see some more to the east. Follow the rising sun. Or the risen sun, I guess. Ugh.
Currently, the sun is almost at its highest point in the sky, my lord.
Yes, I can tell time. Although I can't very well see over tall grass in this form.
I will admit that is something of a downside.
Get your own block. A lot of cows. Do you think he would settle for some beef? Guessing that's a no.
No, my lord.
Ah. Hello, a new cut. Right. It's a different one. It is also not the one that he asked for. Rend the flesh from 30 of the weakest prey, he said. So far, I've yet to find one.
Perhaps you are just butchering the sheep incorrectly?
How many ways are there to butcher a sheep?
Could ask a butcher, my lord.
You know a butcher? Have you found the chef?
Fortunately not.
Ugh. That was a tree
I
sheep.
I did know a butcher, back in the kingdom.
Still, none of these additional lamb chops. I have 3 types of mutton, and I can guess only one of them's the one he wants.
I would assume so.
Yep. You've fallen somewhat.
Somewhat, yes. Quite alright.
I suspect we are going to have to roam quite a bit to find sufficient sheep for this. Fortunately, you are at least correct in that this new form does permit a degree of speed in transit, but on the whole, I think I prefer Rainbow Dash. At least I don't get hungry. But this could be useful in an emergency situation in combat, such as to flee.
I am personally quite fond of the compact nature of this form.
The compact nature. Do you intend to cross any borders in the near future?
The possibility.
This land is barren in more ways than one.
Seems so.
Can find scarcely a diamond, despite hours of searching. Must investigate triplicate ore processing at day 1, and now we can't find any sheep. No wonder no one around here gets any sleep.
Indeed, explain a few things.
Even the dead are restless.
That I have noticed.
Ah yes, how did you survive the blood moon, out of curiosity? They seem to be quite frequent in this area.
To be truthful, I don't quite remember.
You don't remember how you survived the blood moon?
It all happened rather quickly.
It lasts a fair while. That's curious. I wonder how many others of our band survived.
I believe it's what they call the heat of the moment. Time seems to move so much quicker and yet not at all. If that makes any degree of sense, my lord.
There's someone here. Do you think perhaps these forms qualify as some degree of stealth?
Possibly. Not safe for certain.
Folly Molly. You familiar with them? Is that the person you talked to?
No.
Well then, perhaps we have a client.
I believe the person who lives here is a fellow thaumaturge.
And what gives you that? What gives you that impression?
Yes, sir. Whispers amongst the villagers.
Oh. Alright, we're going to have to go far and wide, I believe, to find some sheep. Especially to find, I presume, 60 sheep, unless you've been doing a bit more of this.
I may admit to... yes.
Okay, 30 then. They just don't grow in the clusters that they used to. Yeah.
That or their numbers have been severely reduced.
Oh, finally, a second lamb chop. Only 28 more to go. Right, well, I believe my viewers will be quite consistently happy with this installment of animal butchery and pagan sacrifice. Any words for them? Guessing that's a no.
Not that I can think of, my lord.
Very well. Squire Fuzz and I shall go and murder some sheep, and we shall catch you all next time.